Welcome to The Breakthrough, where we talk with technology leaders about their successes, struggles, and everything in between. I'm Allison Dean, VP of Operations at Theorem, and today we are talking with Megan Prichard, currently the global head of autonomous ride-sharing at Ford Motor Company and previously GM for Uber Air.
Hello, Allison. Thank you so much for having me today. Very excited to chat with you.
I'm curious your viewpoint on the societal implications of autonomous vehicles. What does this look like for mankind for the next 100 years?
So 100 years from now is pretty far out. I'll rein it into maybe the
50
next
years?
like 20, next even 20 years, which is I think the time frame in which we'll really start seeing this technology take off. So right now in a ride share, a standard UberX or Lyft Classic, it looks at about $2.20 to $2.60, depending on the market, cost per vehicle mile traveled. And so ultimately in your average car in the United States, you're looking at between 60 cents and $1 cost of vehicle miles traveled. So the assumption here is that with self-driving cars, ultimately you can bring down that cost where rideshare currently is, in the twos, and you can bring it down to sub $1, even into, 60 cents or so, where people actually will be saving money from taking these autonomous vehicles instead of buying personal vehicles. And so that's the dream. And so when that happens, ultimately, you've got a great situation because there's fewer overall vehicles on the road because it's a shared resource now instead of an individual resource, et cetera. And so, we see that happening in the next basically 10, 15, 20 years or so is when you'll start seeing those vehicle miles, cost per vehicle mile come down. And that's really when this gets interesting. Then this opens up a multi-trillion-dollar market in the US alone for individual miles traveled. And so, what does that mean, to bring it back to your question? What does that mean for us as a society? So ultimately providing affordable transportation options for people, it's opening up opportunity.
All right, so now we need to talk about the Jetsons. Do you think that in our life we'll be seeing some flying cars?
Absolutely. I think in this decade, you'll be seeing mass use of flying cars.
Really? This decade?
Yeah, absolutely.
When is that going to happen?
Yeah, in this decade, as I mentioned, Joby is planning to, they've announced they're going to be testing routes publicly in 2024. And, I wholeheartedly believe that that's going to be there. I mean, when I was at Uber, we were putting everything in place for that to be a reality. So absolutely, yes, that will be a thing. But again, flying cars is a little bit of a misnomer here. This is not the situation where you, Allison, have your flying car that is in your garage, and then you fly it to my house and you park it on my front lawn. This is not that situation. This is more like a shared transportation experience. It's more like a bus or a shuttle where it's, going from point to point in the beginning. Those are fixed routes. You're sharing with other people to make the cost affordable. So it's a very different situation than hey, we have flying cars that take us everywhere. This goes back to the tensions in all of these future transportation and mobility designs between human-centric design and community-centric design. And so ultimately in, the Apple world that we all live in, things are very much based around human-centric design. How do I make the best possible product for you, Allison, for you, Megan? How can I make this the most convenient, the most awesome for you as you use it? Which is very different than community-centric design, which is how can I create a product that serves the needs of our community better, that helps us as a group to continue to excel and is good for everyone.
Okay, so thank you to Megan for joining us. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. And for more great content, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BreakthroughPod. That's Break, THRUPOD. Till next week.